this last weekend, Josh.
Wow. What a weekend
Wow.
it was.
Dare I say that could, and I mean, it could be slight recency bias over here, but that might have been the card of the year.
Ooh.
Like, top to the bottom, that
I was
was
expecting you to say more along the lines that maybe best comeback fight of the year, but best card of the year. I never even thought about that. You know, you might have a point here, Kurtzy. All those fights were just bangers.
I mean, all the way down. Like, think about it from the start. Like, we'll just talk about a prelim fight, and then we'll go our normal order going from the top. That Trezano and Sungwei Chu fight.
The double knockdown, like, come on, that was absolutely a tremendous fight. And then how Carlos Umberg started the card, like,
yep,
absolute banger from start to finish.
Yeah, 100%. It was just one of those cards that it was a high energy atmosphere. That MSG crowd. It's became the November fixture for the UFC over the course of the last few years. Ever since New York has allowed for MMA, and every single time those cards deliver. Like, when you just look at some of the historic matchups and cards that have been at Madison Square Garden, they've been, very top-heavy cards. But I don't know that any of them were able to match on the entertainment value from literally the start to the finish the way that this card was able to do.
I agree with you. It definitely might be some recency bias, but, man.
But again, you said, like, right away, though, with the way that Carlos opened up the card, and then all the way to big drama show in the main event. Like, there was a bit of a stinker that opened up the main card, but again, so we might as well talk about the way that the night ended.
Hey, take it from the top. Go.
And new ×2.
Well, he held up the 3.
Well, 3.
Well, I know what you're getting. Yeah. I know what you're getting at. I just thought we were talking about.
As far as the main, yes, that was cold blooded. That was cold like Elsa,
dude.
To hold up the 3 after he beat him for the third time.
You can't. Bro, talk about kicking a man when he's down. Like,
honestly, though, like, the level of pettiness, I'm here for it. Like, I love it. That's almost like. That's the Michael Jordan, and I took it personal. That's the Tom Brady, that's the just competitor spirit of, like, I'm coming for it, like, and I'm not going to stop until I get there. And just the fact that in that moment, right before the round, the speech from his corner was, Dana was right. That's something out of a movie.
I mean, it kind of didn't hit as hard just because, I don't speak that language, and the translator wasn't really putting a lot of emphatic notes, if you will, into it. It was kind of monotone, but I get it. You're trying to comprehend and translate. But what I did see that was, Alex Pereira is just an intimidating human being. Let's just be honest here. The dude is the most intimidating human I think I've seen compete in the UFC. So what he was whispering to himself going into the 5th round, like, that's cold-blooded.
Yeah, what he's standing there across the cage when he's saying, "I will kill you."
I will kill you in his native tongue, which I can't say, so I won't try.
But it's just the same as when it was the same moment that Israel had that was immortalized from when he fought Kelvin Gastelum going in the 5th, saying, "I'm ready to die."
Mm-hmm.
But this was on the flip side. This is the boogeyman standing across from you saying, "I will kill you." Like, knowing that he's down on the card, they're telling him, you have 5 minutes to become a world champion. Mm-hmm. You need to go empty the tank right now. You need to go knock him out, Poatan. You need to knock him out. And Israel was just a couple of moments away from tying Anderson Silva for the win streak at middleweight. Now, some will say that stoppage was early and that you have to let a champion go out on a shield, and I understand, like, the thought process, especially the fighter's perspective of wanting to go out on your shield. I really do. Like, I get it. But we also, if we're putting ourselves in Mark Goddard's perspective and looking back at it, I'm comfortable with where the stoppage was at. just kind of seeing where Izzy, like, I mean, yes, he was still on his feet and he was moving, but yeah, was he really there? And we also weren't necessarily in there to know like how flush everything was landing from the same vantage point that Mark Goddard was. Like, you know as well as I know, like there's a difference of when you're that close and when you can see and when you can hear, like when you know when something's connecting.
Yeah, it doesn't translate through television at all, like at all. And yeah, 100%. I think that
And we also, just to compound that, Josh, he was getting touched
he was,
multiple
he
times.
was.
And that, as we said on the show last week, is the hardest hitting man on planet Earth.
Yeah,
So
that
if
was
you're Mark Goddard, are you not wanting someone to die on your watch?
that's a stretch, but I think that no, we were one solid
Stretch, but
connection.
potential.
We were one solid connection away from Izzy falling backwards on his leg, like going completely out. Yeah, he was on Quitter Street. He was wobbling. And he even said himself that he agrees with the stoppage. Obviously, fans, I want blood, I want gut. Like, they want to see someone go out. I'm okay with the stoppage in like a health standpoint. Like, yeah, he looked a little rocked, and honestly, it was only going to take one flush connection from Poetan to put him completely face down, ass up. So I'm glad I didn't see Israel like that. That's cool. This is the fight game. This is the way it goes. You can be winning freaking 14 minutes of the whole fight. 1 minute, you're just not. And in this case, a championship fight, so longer. But it's just,
Israel was winning for 23
he was winning
minutes.
for 23 minutes. And the boogeyman got him. It's crazy. It's a crazy sport.
And that's just, we'll talk more about the new champ a little bit later on in the show, but just what a crazy story. Now, in the women's strawweight division, we have a bit of a weird MMA math equation going on. Zhang Weili reclaimed her throne against Carla Esparza with the finish by rear naked choke the other night. Now, Josh, I don't know what you make of this, but it's kind of it's MMA math doesn't always add up, and this is a perfect example of why. So Weili beats Carla last Saturday night, but Carla's beat Thug Rose Namajunas twice, but Rose has beat Weili twice. You see what I mean?
Numbers are hard, dude.
Weird.
Numbers are hard. Just make it make sense. Yeah. I don't get it. So what are we gonna do? We gonna do a 3-way fight?
Yeah, I mean, how's this gonna work out? Like, how does this shake up? Does Rose fight Weili for the title again? Like, and we talked about, like, Rose has earned the right to pick and choose whatever matchup she wants to have out there. Who knows when she's come? Like, I don't know any of that info, so it's just a very odd landscape right now based off of the recent turn of events there. But in the feature fight of the night, Dustin Poirier underwent a medical procedure and tested positive for that dog in him. Now, seriously, I said it last week that on any given night, the Diamond might be the best lightweight in the world on any given night, that he has a shooter's chance. I mean, when the barrels are smoking and the bullets are flying, the Diamond has as good of a chance as anybody out there to come out as the last man standing, especially when you talk about getting into a gunfight the way that he did with Michael Chandler. He was in trouble at certain points. But again, the difference is when the fight starts to get dirty and starts to get grimy, Dustin is still clean with his striking. He's still throwing straight shots. And he mentioned that, hey, if Chandler wasn't so erratic and didn't fight, basically, as we said, like, sometimes, like, Michael Chandler is great of a guy outside of the cage as he may perceive himself to be, all that blah, blah, blah. He just fights like a moron sometimes. He has unreal athletic ability. He has crazy power, but his fight IQ at times is just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, he was smart in the second round when he took Dustin down and he basically controlled the round. But then falling from it, then he goes back to getting into a firefight and he just starts throwing big looping shots instead of ever putting something straight. If he would have done that in the first round, he gets Dustin out of it.
No, I'm right there with you. I think that he definitely has a problem with wanting to be liked, maybe wanting to be known as the most exciting fighter, but like, don't you want to be known to win?
He loves to be entertaining, but I agree that in the sense, like, at what point are you sacrificing the win and your long-term health just to be the are you not entertained guy?
Yeah, like that guy's entertaining. Don't get me wrong, Michael Chandler.
I will
love
watch
watching
him
Michael Chandler fight
all day long.
Respect Michael Chandler. Love Michael Chandler. Great fighter. Everything all around it. But when it comes down to, I mean, I'm sure he's fine. He's getting paid. Let's be honest. He's getting paid. It is what it is. So he technically might not even care because it's not a win-lose bonus for him. It's just a flat rate. Let's go do it. But when it comes to wins and losses and like where you want to be known in the landscape of MMA, you've talked about it your whole career. Like, wins count for everything. It doesn't matter if you're exciting. Khabib wasn't the most exciting guy.
Right.
But he's immortalized now because of how many wins he has. So, like, I just wonder what his mentality is when it comes to all that.
And I get it, but it's also, just like you say right there, Josh, it's a frustrating point because he has the tools to be able to win these fights. Like, if you were to just make a smart decision here and there and not decide to get into a knockdown, drag-out brawl, like, that's where he's lost these last couple of fights that he's, he obviously he got the big knockout against Tony, but Tony had moments in that first round.
Yeah, there was points in that fight where I thought Tony might pull it out.
But it's, he is so willing to stand in the pocket and exchange that it's just, you don't have to do this. Like, I understand that you hit so hard and you are so explosive that at any given moment you can shut the lights out, curtains closed, your hand is up, you are cutting a promo that you already had pre-rehearsed. I get it. I totally understand that. But you also have the ability to wrestle at least competently enough to manage some rounds.
I thought that he was going to get him out of there in the second round. When he took him down, had his hand just trapped there, I thought if he would have picked his shots a little bit better, he could have maybe got him out of there, instead of doinking on the back of the head. But
Josh, I mean, the way that he spit a full mouthful and a nose full of blood.
He didn't spit it. He just blew his nose in an inopportune time.
Of course, you would say that.
All right.
Of course, you would say that.
Now, the whole finger in the mouth thing, like, I
fish hooked the hell out of him.
That was an interesting thing. I didn't see the fish hook, but I did see. All right, hear me out. I didn't see the fish hook because to me, a fish hook is pulling the cheek to the side. I understand when you're coming over top of the nose and the mouth that you're trying to pull the chin and you might slip back and grab a mouth if the mouth is open. But I didn't see what they're saying is in the fish hook.
Okay, so then call it a meat hook. Call it the Texas Chainsaw.
I think he was grabbing for the chin and he slipped.
Well, he got fingers all through the mouth, and there's pictures of it. Like, there's the angle where you can see him all the way in Dustin's mouth. Like, he's testing his gag reflex over here.
Pause. Come on, man.
I mean, I'm just keeping it real.
This is mixed martial arts. What are you talking about?
Oh, he was knuckles deep, my friend.
Oh my God.
Folks, our boy Chris El Guapo Gutierrez.
Catiques!
He showed up and he showed out. All due respect to the legend Frankie Edgar, but it was Chris's moment and it was his time to shine. Chris performed so spectacular en route to that highlight reel. Yeah, some would say flawless en route to that highlight reel finish of the former UFC world champion that I believe it was so incredible that it was criminal that he not receive the performance bonus.
I'm just learning of this now, that he didn't get a bonus. You're telling me he didn't get a bonus?
Nope.
What's wrong with this world that we're living in where a kid like that can do the amazing things that he's done, step onto a stage like that, and all respect to Frankie, but kill a legend like that
In his backyard.
in his backyard and not get a bonus from that? At least for the taxes that he's going to have to pay fighting in New York. Like, give the man a bonus or something.
Exactly. Help the man out.
Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. That helps us continue to produce this original MMA content and bring it for you every single week. Tune in to the MMA Plug presented by DenverSportsBetting.com on 98.1 FM, Mile High Sports Radio on Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m.
or live stream at DenverSportsBetting.com/radio.